Office of the City Architect. Proposed infrastructure projects for fiscal year of 2022. Identified infrastructure projects were intended to serve the citizen in terms of maintaining the city's food security, health facility, community-based sustainable tourism project and other government institution for public services. First we discuss the Bayron Park infrastructure's development, located within the government center of the city. This project started from the construction of the forest park, followed by interactive water park, and currently construction of mini-parks or additional community gardens, and plenty of green open spaces with thousands of earth-balled flowering trees of various type, but the most numbered of trees planted is the medium-sized Bayron trees. This flagship project earns the enormous part of the infrastructure costs, with a total of almost 1.2 billion. As you can see is the master development plan of Bayron Park with corresponding spaces of the following proposals. Letter A indicates management office. B is the food complex at picnic ground area. C is the restaurants or eateries near the sports complex tower. D is for the grilled restaurants or street food kiosks at Forest Park. E is the proposed skate park. F is for the senior citizens park. G is the children's park with puppet show stage near the interactive water park. H for youth center. I is the Chess Center. J for multi-story green parking building near the old City Hall. K is Fountain Park at the back of New City Hall. L bike trail, bike lane, bike rack and station. M is for yoga center near the recreational garden. N is for the arts and culture exhibit gallery. O for the proposed Zumba park with center. This graph shows the Bayron Park proposed project title, area in square meter and indicative costs in million. With a subtotal estimated cost of 612 million. Letter P indicates first aid centers. Q is the botanical or herbal garden and flower park. R is the Bayron tree nursery park with greenhouse. S is for mixed-use building to be composed of offices, function or convention halls, as well as commercial kiosks. T is the proposed sanitation booth at entry points. U is for the police or security outpost. V is the canopy walk, elevated boardwalk and bridges. W for watchtower completion, which is composed of food kiosks in the central part of the tower. X is the zipline or spiral tower. Y for ecumenical wedding shrine. Z is for wall climbing or rappelling area. R is for sports complex control and watch tower. B is for elevated tree planters near the recreational garden. C is for the forest parking space at the back of Forest Park. And lastly, D for the proposed wheelchair, stroller and electronic jeepney station. This graph shows the Bayron Park proposed project title, area in square meter and indicative costs in million. With a subtotal estimated cost of 641.5 million. To further understand the functions and future designs of the facilities, these are the conceptual designs and inspirational images. To begin with is the Bayron Park Management Office with clinic and park equipment station. Having a total floor area of 600 square meter with an estimated cost of 25 million. With regards to food establishments at the Bayron Park, these are the inspirational images of the proposed food complex. Located at the picnic park, near New City Hall, having a total floor area of 1,500 square meter, with an estimated cost of 60 million. Next is the proposed restaurant or cafeteria, located at the back of sports complex existing tower, having a total floor area of 3,750 square meter, with an estimated cost of 150 million. Lastly, the proposed grilled restaurant or street food kiosks, located at Forest Park, having a total floor area of 250 square meter, with an estimated cost of 10 million. For leisure activities, the Bayron Park intends to provide a fountain park at the back of the new Green City Hall, opposite of the Sangunian office, with a total floor area of 1,600 square meter, with an estimated cost of 40 million. And due to public demand especially for bikers, the park is also proposing for bike lane, bike trail park, bike racks and bike station. With a total floor area of 1,000 square meter and an estimated cost of 20 million. And thirdly, the proposed yoga center, to be located near the meditation garden with a total floor area of 650 square meter and an estimated cost of 20 million. For those who are fond of adventures, these canopy walks, elevated boardwalk and bridges would be best fitted to your park visits. Located near the picnic parks connecting to the zipline tower, with a total floor area of 2,000 square meter and an estimated cost of 60 million. This zipline with spiral tower consists of 3 stations starting with the picnic area and ending to the forest park near the National Highway. With a total floor area of 1,250 square meter and an estimated cost of 50 million. This 4-story watchtower is to be completed with a food stall for refreshments of the visitors. This project is initially constructed within the forest park. Additional spaces at the central part of the tower having floor area of 120 square meter and an estimated cost of 4.5 million. The continuous development of Bayron Park primarily depends on the supply of its seedlings. Perhaps the proposed nursery park with greenhouse would help sustain the demands of the trees in the future. This project would cover a total area of 450 square meter with an estimated cost of 15 million. The proposed sports complex control and watchtower, conceptualized by the Office of the City Architect, is 570 square meter in floor area and almost 20 million estimated cost. To provide additional parking space to the growing number of private vehicles and visitors of the park. The proposed green parking building, which is located at the back of Sports Complex Tower, with a total floor area of 3,500 square meter and an estimated cost of 120 million. To promote the culture and arts of the local artist of the city, this proposed arts and culture exhibit gallery is to be located near the proposed fountain park with a total floor area of 1,250 square meter and estimated cost of 50 million. The proposed new City Justice Hall and NBI office is one of the ambitious project of the city government, with a total floor area of 30,000 square meter and an estimated cost of 800 million, to be located at the old near compound, near the city Sangunian office. To suffice the office of the city peso development. This project proposal of Manpower Development Center to be funded with 20 million, is located at the City Government Center with a total floor area of 570 square meter. For the rapid public service in terms of infrastructure projects by administration. The city batching plant, office, warehouse and motor pool facilities with access road and perimeter fences to be funded with 35 million covering a total floor area of 1,000 square meter, located at Barangay Santa Lucia. Moving on to the City Integrated Agricultural Center at Barangay Bayron, a proposed huge projects such as halal slaughterhouse and cold storage facility. First is the halal slaughterhouse and facilities, with 4,000 square meter floor area of development, having an estimated cost of 180 million. Next is the proposed restaurant and souvenir shops, near to the public market of Agri Center, having a total floor area of 1,500 square meter and estimated cost of 60 million. Next building is the admin and dormitory, having a total floor area of 430 square meter and an estimated cost of 15 million. Next improvement of the city is the existing Coliseum area at Barangay San Pedro. This map shows the proposed school building, IT hub and steel parking building. Starting with the proposed steel parking building, with a total floor area of 3,500 square meter and an estimated cost of 120 million. Next is the IT hub or BPLO building, with 5,000 square meter total floor area and estimated cost of 200 million. And lastly, the city elementary school to be constructed with a total floor area of 8,750 square meter and an estimated cost of 350 million. With special education funds available to the city. The Department of Education City Local School Board identified these 5 schools to be constructed with a 2-story 6-classroom school building, having a total floor area of 616.75 square meter, and the estimated cost for each building is 19 million. The 5 schools are the following. This scheme is option A. Next is the 2-story 6-classroom school building, option B. This is the conceptual design of new daycare centers for various barangays, having a total floor area of 70 square meter for each building with an estimated cost of 25 million for 10 unit, locations to be identified. For the nature park experience with partnerships from the barangay community through this community-based tourism project is the establishment of the Acacia Tree Tunnel Park, located at Barangay Inagoan with an initial facilities to be constructed. The following buildings are: the Administration Building, 154 square meter with an estimated cost of 6 million. Secondly, the Pavilion, 224 square meter with an estimated cost of 8 million. Third is the Rentable Kiosks, 102 square meter with estimated cost of 4 million. Fourth is the Souvenir Shops, 132 square meter with estimated cost of 5 million. And lastly, the Public Toilet with 74 square meter floor area and estimated cost of 2.8 million. To provide better health care services to the citizens of the city, the completion of City Health Complex is urgently needed. This project estimated cost of 250 million and a total floor area of 9,500 square meter will house the outpatient department as well as the offices of the city health frontliners. Next is the General Services Office warehouse expansion. Due to insufficient space from a small office, it is timely to construct a warehouse to safely store all the equipment, machineries and supplies of the city government offices. The location of the building is inside the City Engineering Department motorpool at Barangay Santa Monica, with a total floor area of 286 square meter and an estimated cost of 10 million. A project initiatives of the City Veterinarian Office is the proposed cold storage facility at the old city slaughterhouse at Barangay Tagbiras, with an estimated cost of 30 million and a total floor area of 860 square meter. In the urgency of public service to our community's food provision and the support to our fellow market merchants is the completion of public market at Bayron, with a total floor area of 3,700 square meter and would be completed by an estimated cost of 131 million. Aside from urban markets, the establishment of public market on rural barangays is also proposed to provide services to our rural barangay consumers. These 2 public markets are to be located at Barangay Kamuning in southern part of the city and Barangay Salvacion for northern barangays. Having a total floor area of 2,016 square meter and an estimated cost of 60 million per building. The proposed public terminal on various rural barangays are also needed to support our public commuters. This building having a total floor area of 1,875 square meter and an estimated cost of 75 million per building. Also, one of the most constructed building that can be found in every barangay is the covered gym or evacuation center with toilet, is to be funded with 40 million. Each covered gym is 520 square meter total floor area. These are the top 30 infrastructure projects for the fiscal year of 2022. Beginning with Bayron Park facilities, first, the Management Office with clinic and park equipment station with 25 million cost. Next is the Food Complex with 60 million cost, grilled seafood restaurants and street food kiosks with 10 million cost, Bike Trail Park, Bike Lane, Bike Rack and Bike Station with 20 million cost, Bayron Tree Nursery Park with greenhouse with 15 million cost, the Watchtower completion having 4.5 million cost. Next is the Control and Watch Tower at Sports Complex, with 20 million cost. Next is the proposed zipline with spiral mid-end towers with 50 million cost. Also the completion of City Health Complex with an indicative cost of 250 million and the City Peso Manpower Development Center with an almost 20 million cost. The subtotal for this 10 items is 474.5 million. Moving on to the development of the City Integrated Agricultural Center as the Halal Slaughterhouse and facilities with 180 million cost. Next is the restaurant and souvenir shops, at Agri Center also, with 60 million cost and the administration building having a cost of 15 million. Through Special Education Fund is the City Deep School building projects, preferably 2-story 6-classroom school building to be constructed on these 5 school campuses, with a budget of 19 million each. And also the provision of 10 daycare centers at various barangays with a total of 25 million for the 10 building structures, and the construction of covered gym or evacuation center with toilet at various barangays having a total cost of 40 million. The subtotal for number 11 to 20 is 414 million. The items from number 21 to 30 is composed of both urban and rural projects, starting with the Acacia Tree Park, with 5 building project proposals. First is the rentable kiosks with 4 million cost, souvenir shops with 5 million cost, administration building with 6 million cost, pavilion with 8 million cost and lastly, the public toilet with 2.8 million cost. Next is the XO warehouse expansion with 10 million cost and the City Engineering and Architecture building phase 2 with 60 million cost. Next is the completion of public market at Baywalk with 131 million cost and the 2 rural public markets at Barangay Communing and Salvation with 60 million cost each. The subtotal for number 21 to 31 is 346.8 million. The last slide contains the list of infrastructure projects for completion, repair and rehabilitation. Beginning with completion of 2-story 6-classroom building with 11 million cost. Next is the completion of 4-story 12-classroom school building at San Miguel National High School with 6 million cost. Completion of 4-story 12-classroom school building at PNS with 6 million cost. The finishing works of Bahay Pag-asa for CICL Boys is costing to 5 million. Next is the rehabilitation of Motor Pool Bay at City Engineering Department at Barangay Santa Monica, with a cost of 20 million and the City Batching Plant Office Warehouse Motor Pool facilities with access roads and perimeter fence at Barangay Santa Lucia, having a cost of 35 million. Next is completion of Rural Service Center gate and fence at 4 satellite City Hall sites, with a total cost of 20 million. Next is the repair of City Old Public Market at Barangay Tagampay with a cost of 3 million. Rehabilitation of City Coliseum with 160 million cost. Improvement of Coliseum Park or Fountain with 20 million cost. Lighting of Coliseum Park or Fountain with 20 million cost. And last but not the least is the Heritage Core Phase 2 parking and landscape with a total cost of 10 million. The subtotal for completion, repair and rehabilitation projects is 316 million. Adding all the subtotal of 42 items would be amounting to total indicative cost of 1.5523 billion for the fiscal year of 2022. Thank you.